After a rather long wait, we finally have the very first bikes to emerge from the Bajaj-Triumph partnership. These are Triumph branded motorcycles that will be built and sold right here in India by Bajaj. And the first two are the Triumph Speed 400 and the Scrambler 400X. The Speed 400 borrows its styling cues from the Speed Twin 900, while the Scrambler 400X's design is derived from the Scrambler 900. At the heart of these two new machines is an all-new single-cylinder engine that Triumph is calling the TR series engine. This is a liquid-cooled unit that offers DOHC architecture and displaces 398cc. Output stands at 40 horsepower and 37.5 Newton meters, which puts the Triumphs quite close to KTM's 390 lineup in terms of power and torque. Like the KTMs, the Triumphs also get a 6-speed gearbox. Now, Triumph is describing the frame on these two new bikes as a hybrid spine perimeter frame built from tubular steel. While the engine is identical between both the bikes, there are considerable differences in the chassis department, with Triumph claiming that each bike benefits from a dedicated chassis and suspension setup. For starters, the Speed 400 rolls on 17-inch alloy wheels at both ends, wrapped in some rather premium and sporty Metzeler Sportec M9 RR tires. The Scrambler, meanwhile, gets a 19-inch 17-inch alloy wheel combo and comes shod with Metzeler Karoo Street tires. While both bikes have the same basic suspension format, you've got a 43mm big piston upside-down fork and a monoshock, the Scrambler gets slightly more suspension travel than the Speed. On the Scrambler, you've got 150mm at each end, while the Speed gives you 140 up front and 130mm at the rear. Brakes are also slightly different, with the Scrambler sporting a slightly larger 320mm front disc compared to the Speed's 300mm unit. This is perhaps down to it being the slightly heavier bike at 179 kilos for the Scrambler versus 170 kilos for the Speed. As a result of its taller stance and longer suspension travel, the Scrambler also seats you a little higher off the ground at 835mm compared to the Speed, which seats you at 790mm, which is actually quite accessible. As is usually the case with Triumph, these two new 400s are fairly feature-rich motorcycles, and standard equipment includes all LED lighting, ride-by-wire, switchable traction control, dual-channel ABS, an immobilizer, an assist clutch, a USB-C charging port, and semi-digital instrumentation. The dash features a large analog speedometer with a small LCD screen placed adjacent to it. On the screen are readouts for a digital tachometer, a gear position indicator, trip data, and a fuel gauge. Interestingly, a heated grip symbol is also seen on the screen, and Triumph will be offering this as an optional accessory. In the case of the Scrambler, the company says that dual-channel ABS is also switchable for off-road use. The official India launch of these bikes will take place on July 5th, and that's when we'll know the pricing. But considering the fairly impressive specs and equipment levels on offer here, as well as the brand value that Triumph commands, you can expect the Speed 400 to be priced around the 3 lakh rupee mark ex-showroom, while the Scrambler will be a little higher.